I'm here with a man that as Americans we hold dear, Thomas Jefferson, surrounded by an environment he once enjoyed, gardens. Thomas Jefferson not only gave us the Declaration of Independence, but his many quotes included one that is very significant to this story. He once said, "I cannot live without books." So I'm going to take you on a tour through the past and present via unique historical books. We're going to get to know the author, Olympia Devine, through her work and readings. Together with her late son, Troy, they completed these works based on making a difference in today's world. Their vision was to assist students in their real-life creativity by working on these books. Olympia Devine has authored 5 books. She was recently interviewed by the CBS Sunday Morning team. Let's have a look.
Walking through this room in 1927, what would it look like?
Very much as it appears now.
Built by post-serial fortune heiress Marjorie Merriweather Post and her husband E.F. Hutton, Mar-a-Lago is dazzling even by Palm Beach standards.
There's 5 clay tennis courts at the back as well.
Olympia Devine has written the Trump-authorized history of the estate. There is an inscription I see in many places.
Plus ultra, which means beyond the ultimate. And that is symbolic of how Mrs. Post led her life and what her expectation was for this property.
This brings us to your Mar-a-Lago coffee table book, which is most certainly the jewel of your collection, which I believe this is still a bestseller.
Yes, in fact, the Mar-a-Lago estate is described as the jewel of Palm Beach. Together with my co-author, Bernd Lemke, we designed this book as a tour room by room through 245 glossy pages, consisting of photos and historical editorial. A journey through time from the early 1920s under the ownership of the legendary Mrs. Marjorie Merriweather Post until its new owner, Donald J. Trump, who did restore it and expanded the property into a private club.
So the reader can tour room to room through a property that no longer allows tours as a private club, and especially now since it is described by the media as the Winter White House for President Trump. She hails from South Africa and has a long entrepreneurial history in the realm of business development, print, feature journalism, photography, and production. Her first book, Change in Time, A South African Legacy, completed together with her son, is a history coffee table book with amazing black and white photography and poetry. She credits her son for this book, and here she is to tell us why.
Thank you, Raymond. Yes, Troy really deserves this credit. I was about to throw out the many photos from my time as a photojournalist in South Africa. These photos were taken during the 80s, which was described as the apartheid transitional years of South Africa. Troy wouldn't allow me to do that, and instead he created this book. As he said, "Mom, you're throwing away history. You documented a transitional time in history, and this needs to be shared." To describe this work, I'm going to read part of my son's quote. "South Africa is a beacon to the world of how a nation can have a peaceful power shift without war and bloodshed. The tribal nations and the communities of South Africa have a history which is anchored in tradition. Since the dawn of man, they have struggled to evolve with the ever-changing global climate. Their stories need to be told for their children to remember and value their heritage. We are a human race with the same desires to be loved and show love, to be free from persecution, to be safe in our homes and communities, to be prosperous, to provide security for our family's future, and to ensure a better tomorrow for all."
Let's move on. Your next work was the novel A Storm in Paradise. What inspired you to write this?
A Storm in Paradise was based on a true story and written over 10 years about a crazy life scenario, best described in this review by author Martha Moffat. In A Storm in Paradise, Christina is raising her son at a distance from her former husband, a charming, manipulative, self-made financier. When her ex dies suddenly in an unexplained accident, his new wife produces a suspect will, disinheriting his only son. Christina and young Mark face the battle of their lives as they take on slack officials, conniving lawyers, and a scheming widow. As the two unflinching characters pull together their strengths and loyalties and refuse to give in, the reader will cheer them on in the battle of their lives.
Following the novel was the coffee table book, Palm Beach, a community tribute. It seems to be all you need to know about Palm Beach in one book. And what was the inspiration behind this book?
This coffee table book is based on the extraordinary town of Palm Beach. We were inspired to share our amazing experience as the producers of the Palm Beach 100th birthday. This was a major town celebration, and we learned so much along the way that we needed to share. So these pages were completed by the community, for the community, and as a tribute.
Isn't it said that in Palm Beach, more money is raised for charity per capita during their resort season than anywhere else in the world?
Exactly. Our books are designed for the history buff, the gifter, the avid reader, but most importantly, it's to showcase these Palm Beachers who have and continue to make a big difference in this world. This book then led to the next bestseller, which was the collector's edition, Palm Beach: The Legacy Continues.
This legacy book is truly a beautiful and comprehensive coffee table book. 280 glossy pages of past and present photos and historical editorial, all making this a work of art. In addition to the first 100 years of town history, and I see you also included the natural beauty of the town. It even has a slipcover, which makes it an ideal gift. Palm Beach is a beautiful town with strict policies in place to protect its historical architecture, pristine beaches, its vegetation, and wonderful wildlife. In conclusion, let me introduce myself as the storyteller. I am Raymond Knutson, a mentor with the program assisting students in illustrations and film. In 2014, I graduated from G-Star School of the Arts, and in 2019, I graduated from the Florida State University College of Motion Picture Arts. I would like to end on another Thomas Jefferson quote. All students need is a library. I guess we are all well on our way with these life-based books, a wealth of historical knowledge for any student of life. The books are available at Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, and these Palm Beach stores, the Flagler Museum, and the Palm Beach Bookstore. To make contact, please visit the Golden Lion Publishing website, www.goldenlionpublishing.com.